In this lesson, we're going to look at the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So, I have one question first. Does an empire really fall for only one reason? Think about it. So our lesson question is, why did the Western Roman Empire collapse? So if you want to be able to answer your lesson question correctly, you're going to need to be able to do a few things. First, describe why the empire began to weaken. Second, why the empire was split in two. Lastly, identify the factors that caused the empire to fall. And then finally, describe why the Western Roman Empire collapsed. You've also got some words you need to know. Inflation, that's your academic word. Absolute ruler, Germanic, Hun, mercenary, and persecution, those are your domain-specific words, so be sure to keep your eyes out for them. Here we are at our lesson question again. Why did the Western Roman Empire collapse? Now we have three pieces of this we need to cover. The empire declining, the split of the empire, and the empire finally collapsing. Follow these three with me and you'll definitely be able to answer this question. This is a map of the Roman Empire at its greatest size. Now, take a look at it. It's pretty big. It spans over 3 separate continents. Do you think that would be hard to maintain in terms of money, security, and people? I want you to think about that as we move on. Here we are at our lesson question. Just to get you good and ready, why did the Western Roman Empire collapse? Now, we just looked at a map at how vast this empire was, and I asked you, do you think this would be hard to maintain? So now we're going to take a look at some of the problems the Roman Empire was facing and what finally caused its decline. One of the first reasons for the Roman Empire's instability is its political problems. The Pax Romana ended in 180 CE, and Rome entered a time of serious political instability. One of the biggest reasons is from 235 to 284 CE, you had 19 different emperors ruling. Now, one of the reasons is their common assassination. One family would decide they want their son to be emperor, so they'd assassinate the current one. Another reason is there's no process for deciding who will be the next emperor. So imagine in our government if we had 19 different presidents in that amount of time. Now the other piece I want you to think about is the frontier. Rome's borders here face constant attack. Why? That's a big border to defend. It's expensive and it costs a lot in money and food for your soldiers. The empire began to slowly lose territory. Why? You have to defend it. You increasingly relied on mercenaries. Now, the problem with that is mercenaries are not as loyal as soldiers who chose to join. They're just being paid. They don't necessarily control it. The army became harder to control and was less loyal to the emperor, as I just said. Defending the border is expensive. It led to economic problems and a spiraling economic crisis. The Roman emperors, they needed money. So what did they do? They would raise taxes and create more coins. Well, that's a problem because you only have so much materials to create the coins. The people believed the new coins were not as valuable. And what then? It required more coins to buy the same amount of food as before. Today, this is called inflation. So, in short, the reasons for the empire's decline: political instability, military conflict, economic crisis. With that, you get the Roman Empire declining. Let's check in on our progress with our lesson question. Why did the Western Roman Empire collapse? Well, we looked at why the empire declined. Politically, they were having some problems. They had no way of electing a new emperor, and those that were being assassinated. Next, They had a big military border to defend. Lastly, they had serious economic problems. So now let's go into the proposed solution, the split of the empire. So clearly, as you saw, Rome is in need of help. It's in crisis. Now, let's see how they do under this ruler. This is Diocletian, and he governed as an absolute ruler. This means nobody questions him. He divided the empire into the eastern and the western regions. We'll get a little bit more into that later. He also standardized coins, and he fixed prices to help with inflation. That helped bring prices down, and people could buy more things that they needed. He also brought order to Rome in short term. Let's see how he divided the empire. He divided the empire into the east and the west. Now, the interesting thing about that, this is the east. It has more wealth and more trade. Now, why do you ask? Rome was the center of trade. Well, the east now has more trade because of this right here. You're getting trade from Asia through this little strait, and whoever has control of that strait has control of trade. Unfortunately, the west, not getting that wealth. Constantine, when he took over, he gained control of both halves, and he emerged as Rome's sole ruler. He moved the capital to Byzantium. This was a former little Greek fishing village, and he renamed it Constantinople. He converted to Christianity, and he ended the persecution of the Christians, as you can see in this very nice mosaic here. He's holding the church, therefore protecting it. Sadly, after his death, the Western Empire again fell into decline. Let's check back with our progress in our lesson question. Why did the Western Roman Empire collapse? So first we covered the decline. They were having political issues, military issues, economical issues. Things weren't going well. Then we had Diocletian come in. He tried to save it by splitting it. We also had Constantine come in. He tried to save the split. Unfortunately, that didn't work and the empire split. Now, let's see the full collapse of the Western Roman Empire. So what were the factors of the collapse of the Western Roman Empire? Well, these are the long-term factors. And you need to know these things start small and continue to get a little worse and worse every day. First and foremost, you have service in government. It's seen as a burden. Nobody really wants to do it anymore, whereas before it was an honor. You wanted to serve. Next, less public interest in the affairs of government. Very sad. Next, decreased support for military service. Again, you're hiring mercenaries. You don't have soldiers serving for honor. The economic factors, disrupted trade, high taxes. Lastly, increasing gap between the rich and the poor. Now, this is going to cause the poor to get very angry. Now, if you look at these, you'll see how they all led to the decline of the Western Roman Empire. As we've seen, as Roman military weakened, we have two key enemies of Rome stepping up to challenge them. The Huns from Central Asia and the Germanic tribes from Germany and Eastern Europe. Take a look at our map. This kind of gives you a great idea of where they're coming from. The Huns are coming from Central Asia, as I said. They are the purple arrows. They're Germanic tribes attacking from what will become Germany. They are attacking Rome centrally and severely. Let's talk about the Huns first. Attila the Hun attacked the empire with 100,000 troops. They attacked more than 70 cities. However, they did fail to capture Rome or Constantinople. In regard to the Germanic people, however, they attacked and looted the city of Rome in 455 CE, and they were successful. Now, if you looked at your graph earlier, you'll know that Rome had a population of 1 million people. When a German king was all said and done, they only had 20,000 people left in Rome. He forced them out, and the Eastern Roman Empire became the Byzantine Empire, which lasted until 1453. So now that the Western Roman Empire has collapsed, what are the effects on its former ruled areas and Rome itself? Well, the era following the collapse of Rome is often called the Dark Ages. Today, sometimes we even call it the Middle Ages. Europe was actually divided into dozens of small kingdoms. Unlike Rome, these kingdoms had no written rule of law. Literacy, education, and the production of written works declined, if not almost completely disappeared. Complex economic systems, including taxation, trade, and the use of money, deteriorated. No more great construction projects were created. Take a look at our timeline. We can see the span from Diocletian dividing the empire and trying so hard to keep it together, to Constantine uniting the empire again and still trying to keep it together, to the Hun invasions, we're still to there, to 476 with the final fall of the Western Roman Empire.